Did you know we've tried for decades to keep great white sharks in aquariums, but it almost never works? Some sharks do fine in tanks. You'll see nurse sharks, zebra sharks, reef sharks, even sand tiger sharks. But the great white? None to be seen. Aquariums really wanted to show the world's most famous predator. Places like SeaWorld and other major aquariums put great whites on exhibit. And people showed up. Huge crowds from massive hype. But behind the scenes, it was bad. Most sharks didn't eat. Some couldn't even swim properly. The longest a great white ever survived in an aquarium back then? 16 days. One aquarium report basically said, "These sharks aren't really living." Brutal, but true. Aquariums tried everything. They built special tanks, even hooked sharks up to IV fluids. Still, it didn't work. The main reason comes down to how great white sharks breathe. They're what's called ram ventilators. Most fish can just open and close their mouths to push water through their gills. Great whites? They can't. They have to swim forward constantly to breathe. So, the moment they stop moving, or get trapped, they weaken fast. That's why keeping them alive is insanely difficult. Then, in 2004, something changed. The Monterey Bay Aquarium succeeded. They kept a great white shark alive for over 6 months. And it took a ridiculous amount of planning. First, they built a 1-million-gallon egg-shaped tank, 35 feet deep, designed for animals that swim non-stop in the open ocean. Second, they didn't grab a huge adult shark. Instead, they caught a baby, just over 4 feet long. Smaller, easier to move, and easier to feed. Young great whites eat mostly fish. Adults switch to seals. So, the aquarium specifically chose an age where they could match the diet. Smart move. But even then, they didn't rush it. Before taking the shark, they placed it in a giant ocean pen. 4 million gallons of open water. They watched it, made sure it swam normally, made sure it ate. Only then did they move it into a custom transport tank with oxygen sensors, cameras, and lights. They transported the shark up to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which was about a 6-hour drive. When the shark went on display, attendance jumped 30%. People were obsessed. But after 6.5 months, the aquarium made a tough call. They released the shark back to the ocean. Why? Because it had killed 2 other sharks in the tank. Over the next 6 years, Monterey Bay displayed 5 more baby white sharks. Their stays ranged from 11 days to a few months. But there was a cost. The sharks developed sores from bumping into walls. Great white sharks are pelagic, which means they're built to roam the wide, open ocean. In aquarium tanks, they're forced to make tight turns their bodies aren't designed for. Then, in 2011, they released their 6th shark after only 55 days in captivity. Its tracking tag showed it died shortly after release. No one knows exactly why. Since then, they stopped trying. It was possible, but not sustainable. Then, in Japan, an 11.5-foot adult great white was put on display after being caught in a fisherman's net. It died within 3 days. The only adult to ever be shown in an aquarium. Some animals are just too wild and too perfectly designed for the ocean to ever fit behind glass. If this changed how you see great white sharks, subscribe to our channel.